Hello, happy Wednesday, or as Jeff would say, hump day. Oh, and I seen that Eric and Dana B and Grace were already into conversations. I'm surprised you guys got in there so early, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, I wasn't going to do. I was going to cancel for tonight because I'm not in a very good mood. Found out that my uncle has passed and can't get to his funeral because of the truck being in its bad stage at the moment. But I figured I might as well go ahead and since I already had all the information out and ready to go, I figured we'd go ahead and do it. Cat's got to jump up here. Yeah, he was my my wife's uncle, but I still called him an uncle because he was really good and helped out when my wife had passed and everything, and we're pretty close. We used to go down his place in Columbus and everything, but it is what it is. Anyway, I wanted to make an announcement that hopefully, if everything lines up, next month I will be doing members only giveaways. So far, I do have some gardening stuff that is lined up that some sponsors have gave me. And I'm trying to get one of my other sponsors to give some more stuff for giveaways also, and trying to get them to give stuff for survival seeds also. So it's kind of both. So, but yeah, Purslane, everybody has it. It's like it's a weed that grows everywhere. That being said, most of the time people just pick it up and throw it and don't pay no business to it. But it is like a little superfood by itself. And I've been doing a lot of research on the benefits, and pharmaceuticals are actually doing a lot of research on it because of autoimmune stuff. It's one of the best ways to fight, and in some, because there's many versions of autoimmune disease, and there are some that Purslane is the only one that actually you can benefit from. It actually, I'm not saying cures, but helps. We'll put it that way. Before we get too started in this, we got to do one thing, and yeah, be back in a second.
This channel, Bushcraft Family, cannot and does not contain medical/health advice. The medical/health information is provided for general informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional advice. Accordingly, before taking any actions based upon such information, we encourage you to consult with the appropriate professionals. We do not provide any kind of medical/health advice. The use or reliance of any information contained on the site or our mobile application is solely at your own risk.
Please verify you are a human. I'll wait.
Waiting. And I just happened to see Dana B slap Dana B with rotten corn cob. You're not supposed to do that to yourself, Dana. Okay. Actually, I have one thing I didn't do. Let me find a good image of it first. I thought I had everything. Cat, lay down. You and your big tail. Let's see here. I mean, there's an image on the thumbnail and everything, but let's find a good one. Well, there's multiple. And the best way I do this is, here, let me find the share button. Share screen. There we go. And let's load it up there. And you can see it here. This is the first one. Here is the flowered version of it when it actually has its flowering. Here's a close-up of the leaves. And this is what usually everybody sees. It's usually on fresh ground, this stuff, because it's not very good about with other plants. So when you dig up fresh ground and stuff, it's usually the first thing that pops up. I've actually got seeds growing up in my grow room right now, and they're going crazy. But that is what it looks like. I don't know if there's any more other than that I could show you. Here's a little bit bigger one picture of it. And here's another close-up of it. This is where somebody's actually growing. And that's not going to work. Yeah. See if we can. No, it won't work. Okay. So, yeah, that is the plant that we're talking about tonight. And there's many uses. The fact is, you can go out there and pick it up and just eat it. Yeah, I'm not sure if it does. I mean, you could plant it. Like if you got some seeds, I'm sure you can plant it because it does come up pretty quickly. But as far as I know, yeah, it grows all over the place. Yeah, I don't know about way up north in Canada and whatnot, but down here it's like it's a weed, and usually people complain because it pops back up just a little root and it'll grow back again. But let's go over just the benefits, and there's many more than what I'm going to go over. Purslane, a common edible weed, offers several health benefits. Nutrient rich, is rich in source of essential nutrients, including vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, as well as minerals like magnesium, calcium, and iron, just in this little plant. Its oxidant powers. Purslane contains high levels of antioxidants such as beta carotene and vitamin C, which we already said, which help protect the body from damage and reduce of chronic diseases. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with the autoimmune diseases. Heart health. Purslane is a good source of omega fatty acids. Now, this plant has more omega fatty acids than any plant, which can help lower blood pressure, reduce inflammatory issues, uh, and improve heart health. And this is another good one for, you know, and I'm not a doctor, you know, I'm just repeating what doctor studies have said. um, Blood sugar control. Studies have shown that purslane may help regulate blood sugar levels, making it benefit for people with diabetes. Um, and there's plenty studies. Um, those who use uh, this herb as in a salad or just a tincture or whatever, that 86% of the people had regulated blood sugars. Now, this is a study from that doctors do, so it's not from what I'm saying. So, um, digestive health. Purslane is high in fiber, which adds in digestion and prevents constipation, which is always good. And with most plants, especially weeds, cancer prevention. Some research just that purslane's antioxidants may help protect against certain types of cancers, such as colon and lung cancer. Um, it boosts immunity, of course, because it has vitamin C, but it has other. It also is very good for wounds. Like you can, uh, what Native Americans used to do, um, and I hope I'm calling them that the right thing nowadays, but um, used to chew it up, and then they'd put it on their wounds, and it would heal their wounds really fast. Um, and of course, it is it is important to consume purslane in moderate and to consult healthcare professionals before using it for medical purposes. I got to make sure I get that in there. I forgot to do that before. But I mean, the one thing that sticks out to me is um, doing more research on this to finding out that this plant has more omega-3 fatty acids than all plants. Um, yeah, that's a big one there. Yeah, and it's hard. It's actually hard to get a good, you know, pharmacist that will not turn his nose up at. Oh, you're one of them herbal people. No, don't use herbs; they're bad for you. Even though the majority of the the medication behind his counter is from that from them herbs. But yeah, they're just for that little herb, or that, well, I should call it a weed because it's considered a weed. And there's tons of recipes, and I actually added one today. I had, and I'm not very good with. Here, let me share this again. Um, I can't never see that button over here. There it is. Screen. There we go. Let me go here. Add screen, and this is my website. If you didn't know, and I've been slowly updating it and adding things and whatnot. And one of the things up here, you can go to herbal teas, food, and beverages. And I've only got a couple recipes in here at the moment. Make sure it's still on there. And this is the hibiscus pomegranate fire cider water or a recipe. This stuff is delicious. And the one we're wanting to go down to is the Purslane salad. And it's basically a salad, and you substitute the lettuce for uh, the purslane. And when you're doing this with this, and a lot of times there's a lot of people that will say, "Oh, you can't have the stem. The stem is bad and everything." But technically, you can still eat the stem. But for a salad, you just want the leaves. And it's pretty simple. A fourth cup of red wine vinegar, uh, one red onion sliced thin, one cucumber, four plum tomatoes, or you can use like usually what I do is the cherry tomatoes, and a half to a pound of purslane leaves and tender stems. I put that in there, the tender stems, because a lot of people frown upon them, and I think they got a good flavor to them. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use grapeseed oil or avocado oil if you don't want to use olive oil, because some people don't like the flavor of olive oil. A teaspoon of dried oregano, and a fourth cup of feta cheese. And you just mix it up, and there's all the ingredients and all that good stuff there. Let me go ahead and close that. But yeah, it's really good. It's got like a lemon pepper ish type of taste. And not only can you not just have it in salads, but you can also fry it up. I mean, I like to fry it with onions, garlic, and just the herb itself. And because depending where you harvest from, and I always say when you're harvesting, make sure it's not next to somebody that has a garden or a lawn that puts a lot of chemicals in their lawn to make it look all nice and pretty and stuff. My grass has weeds all through it. The springtime, I have flowers and dandelions and all kinds of stuff in my grass, because I'll go out there and pick the flowers, and I'll make jelly out of them. And purple dead nettles are really good just to eat by themselves. All kinds of stuff. Yes, you can do teas with it. I would suggest mixing it with some other herbs, because it is quite a strong pepper when it's dried out, a strong pepper flavor. Yeah, dandelions and clovers. Yeah, one of the coolest lawns there are is just clover, no grass, just clover. And if you can pull that off without neighbors complaining too much and everything, the clover will overtake the yard, and there will not be no grass growing, no weeds. It'll just be clover, and it's the greenest little lawn there is. And you don't have to mow it very much, because it's a ground cover type thing. Yeah, there you go. My weeds have grass in it. Yeah. Yeah. Not too long ago, I seen some people harvesting oh, dang it, what was that? Lamb's ear and something else, echinacea. And they were right alongside the road where the culverts and the ditches and everything are. And I didn't want to be, oh, you're doing it wrong, that type of thing. But I felt I needed to say something. I said, um, not sure if you know, but do you know that the county sprays this to keep the weeds down? There's actually pesticides that kill the weeds, um, so they don't have to mow as much through here. And they said, "Oh, well, we didn't know that." And thank you. You know, and that is true. You go down county roads and stuff. A lot of times they'll spray down the roads so they don't have to mow as much. So that's something to consider when going out foraging and stuff. Um, yeah, and what was this other? There, most of the thing that you find for recipes are the um, are just salads. There are so many different salads um, that you can get. There a lot that you can add fruit to and whatnot. Yeah, there's a garlic raspberry dressing that if I'm getting into salad and stuff, I usually make a garlic um, raspberry dressing, just oil and vinegar and some herbs, and just let it set in a mason jar in the fridge for a couple weeks with some crushed raspberries in there. And because I use the raspberries to sweeten it, and then you put cloves of garlic in there, a couple smushed ones, and oh man, that's some good stuff. But you can also make a tincture out of this. Um, Now there's, like I said, let me find the study on this. Where did it go? All right, here it is. And and it also helps with arthritis. And this is one of the studies done by Science Direct, and they work with other colleges and pharmaceuticals, and those people, doctors that do all the testing and stuff. And um, also it helps with the inflammatory and all that. um, the antioxidant markers in patients with uh, rheumatoid arthritis, and it was a double-blind, random controlled critical trial. And I'm just going to go down to, here's the method. Um, it was a 12-week trial, 86 participants aged between 20 and 79, divided into two groups. One group, which was 43 of them, received 500 milligrams of Purslane capsules twice a day, while the control group, received a placebo, just fake stuff that didn't have any dosage or anything. And the results were that the group that were taking the Purslane, 87, might as well say it's 86.9, something like that, but 87% of them seen benefits from it. and some inflammatory stuff was completely cured. They're saying 37% of the group was completely cured of inflammatory illnesses that they had going on. And there's other studies within this too. Like I said, with diabetes to control the sugar, that autoimmune stuff, because there are multiple diseases within the autoimmune. There's tons of different ones, and I can't even say the words because it's, you know, longer than my garden type thing. And the thing is, they're saying this is the only herb that controls that autoimmune, and they're just in the beginning stages of figuring this out. Other than the people that find it, you know, on the internet and whatnot, and say, let's try this and see if it works. And one lady on TikTok, was researching this for her father. He couldn't get no relief for this autoimmune disease for nothing. And she read about this and she said, I've seen this. It's like it grows in the cracks of my sidewalk and stuff like that. And she went out for a walk, and then lo and behold, there was some in a crack of somebody's sidewalk. She picked it up, took it home, cleaned it off really good, and made a salad from it and gave it to her father. The next day he came over and said, you know, I feel wonderful. I'm not having issues with this and that. And they did more research on it and found out that there was studies going on, which there's, you know, unless it's not the juice, usually studies go on for years and years. And the fact that some of the stuff that I'm learning on this, ooh, man, just go look up some of the studies on this, you know, the college, the pharmaceutical and all that. And I'm wondering, usually what happens is if they find something that works really good, they bury it. You know what I mean by burying it? It's in a lab testing for years and years because they want to make money off that other stuff. The other stuff that doesn't do anything to you. It just masks what's wrong with you. But yeah, I'll go ahead and drop the link in case somebody wants to check it out, because all my lives I leave up the chat so people can check out who do the rewatching. There it is right there. And if they want to check out that link later on or whatnot, it's there. And that is one of the really nice herbs. Hey, Mountain Grandma, good to see you. How you been doing? And I almost bet you Mountain Grandma knows about this herb, Purslane. I bet you she knows about it. Especially being out west. I used to see it out there more than you see it here, which I see it all over the place. A lot of times I'll see it in the garden and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll let it grow a little bit bigger, and then I'll pull it up and harvest it. Yeah, those are the go. A lot of times I took this class a few weeks ago on uh, certain certain parts of herbalism, and I actually got, I think, another 30, almost 30 hours in. I've got a long way to go still, because I every time I see one of the free classes that I can use for the hours to get registered as an herbalist, um, yeah. One of the first things they say is, um, when somebody gets or is getting into herbalism, the first thing they do is Google, and first thing that pops up is AI, and they think, oh yeah, this stuff, you just add this to get there, and oh, that you make a tincture that way. There's a lot more to it. There's ratios to dried herb to fresh herbs. There's so much you need to know, and each herb is different. Like stinging nettle, that has to steep so much longer than just a regular like lemon balm for to make a tea out of it. Not to mention making a tincture out of it. There's so much that you got to know, and Google is fine sometimes, but don't look at the first things you see. Or if you do, go scroll down and look at some websites that have an actual herbalist and that will tell you. Some websites that you can ask a question. It may take a while before you get the answer sometimes, but they'll answer you back and say, yeah, you have to do this ratio with this ratio or something like that. There's a lot into it. And even like I say, don't follow what I say. Do your own research always. Yep, exactly. Yep. And they think that one dried herb is like another dried herb. And there are some herbs that benefit other herbs if you put them together. And then there are some herbs, if you put them together, that could be very bad for you. So yeah, that's why I like about some of these classes. Some of the classes I already, like, um, the first part of the class was the first 2 hours was about tea. And I'm like, I know all about tea. um, but toward the end, they were telling you about um, steeping tea, how long, depending on the herb. And some of the herbs you can steep for longer, like caminello. The longer you steep it, the more it's going to knock you out. Those kind of things. And also like foraging. Um, like if I had a nice area that I could go out and nice area to forage that wasn't too far away, I would love to go out and, again, not an expert forager, but there are some things I know myself, but I'm not going to tell you that I know that because it's YouTube. Um, but I can give you examples, like showing you on camera what the plant looks like and whatnot. And just like, I mean, nature is wonderful. God made plants a certain way, and he put plants next to other plants for reasons, like uh, jewelweed, uh, which my grandpa, he always called it waterweed. And you have stinging nettle, which he used to call itchweed. They usually grow side by side. And the reason, that's the way it was intended. If you go and rustle through some itchweed, you're going to start itching and burning and stuff. You walk over to that jewelweed, break the stem open and rub it on where you're itching, you're good to go. And that's the very cool thing about it. It's just usually just right there. Oh yeah, yeah, and just like um, dandelions, you can eat dandelions whenever, but I guarantee you, if you eat a dandelion, the greens of a dandelion when it first comes up in the spring, compared to when it in the fall when it's about to die, you can taste the difference. Uh, and that's the same in um, the root. You can harvest it in the spring, but most of the energy from that root is going out to grow the plant. So in the fall would be the best time because all the energy and all the nutrients goes back in the root to survive the winter. Yes, jewel weed, not Joel weed. There might be a Joe weed. I don't know. I knew I knew down south at the parks, and we had buskets with these dang caterpillars, mushrooms sometimes. Yeah, yeah, mushrooms. I'm even weary of some mushrooms, unless the the easy ones, the chicken of the woods or whatever they call it, lion's mane. Those ones, you you kind of know. Um, oh, morel. Again, my grandpa would call it. He would call them peckerheads. So that's how I knew what they were. I didn't know. Somebody asked me if I wanted to go morel hunting, and I'm like, "What kind of animal is that?" And they said, "It's a mushroom." And I said, "I don't know. I'm not too kind on mushrooms because I need to know what it is." And I went out with him, and he said, "Here's one right here." And I said, "That's a peckerhead." And he said, "What the?" And he said, "Well, it kind of does." um, yeah, here we go. My grandmother always said that the first dandelions of the season were good to help detox the body from winter. Yes. Yep. Um, yep. Eric, you could say that. Um, and that my we would have salad. The first uh, my grandpa would say go out and get some dandelion greens. So I'd be out there, and where he lived, we didn't have grass. We didn't. It wasn't a nice grassy area. I had to go through the weeds and get the greens from the dandelions and stuff. He lived out in the country. Uh, we were probably 50 feet from a creek, um, where we would get crawdads all the time, or some say crayfish, but they're always crawdads to me. Um, and I mean, there were wild blades of grass here and there, but nothing like a normal lawn. He didn't own a lawnmower or anything like that. He owned a sickle, you know, and that's how we kept the weeds and stuff down. But yeah. Yeah. And there's fancy restaurants that will buy dandelion greens for their dishes and stuff. Yeah. And what's that pesticide stuff, the weed killer that targets uh, dandelions, that's been sued for causing people to have cancer and stuff. I can't remember what it is, but um, the same company who owns um, that weed killer, yeah, Roundup. Yep, that's it. The same company who owns Roundup is also a pharmaceutical. And why would a pharmaceutical be advertising, to kill weeds and whatnot? Well, dandelions are good for the heart. Dandelion root, the whole 9 yards. And the pharmaceutical company makes prescriptions and stuff for the heart and whatnot. So, yeah, it's something to think about there. Yeah, that's another one. You'd be surprised if you dig into these companies, who owns this company, and it's always a long list, like 6 or 7, 8 companies, and then you find out who actually owns it. It's like, woo. Uh-oh. Dana B had rotten corn cobs dumped on her head. Now she's got spam. I need to get a good herb reference book for my prepper library. I don't know if I have any by me at the moment, but there's a lot of them out there. There's one that I wanted to get that I was doing some research on that. I can't remember the name of it, but the reference area opens up and there's pictures of ailments, like say you got acne or something, and then you look at it and it tells you what page, and it tells you the herbs that, or the tinctures or the salves or whatever that will help with that, and it tells you what herbs you need and everything like that. It's a very expensive book, so probably not a book I'll be getting anytime soon. Yeah. Yeah, the candy bars aren't what they used to be. I was telling my son, we were in the store, and I said, because they had the king size or the big giant candy. Well, it's not really giant, but you know, the bigger size, the super sized candy bar. And I said, those are the candy bars we used to have. They were just the regular ones. And we used to buy them for like 25 cents. And then the ones you get now are like this big. The package is bigger, but you squeeze the ends and it's just a little candy bar there, like a Snickers or something. There's nothing to it anymore. And it's like $1 to $2 for a candy bar now. And there's like 118 ingredients in it. It's ugh. Yeah, there are some good but like you usually have to pay for it too. I remember when Hershey's used to be, you know, we only use milk and cocoa and this and that. They can't say that now. Yeah, those are some good books if you can get a hold of some really those kind of books. Yeah, I grew some one year and it came up pretty good. But boy, that stuff is strong. Um, I tried, you know, making some tea, and I put a few um, ground up leaves in it, and ooh, it was actually too sweet. 1,500 years ago. Interesting. I didn't know you were around back then, Grace. I was at Walmart a few weeks ago, and because I like going in the back aisles because that's where they stash all their um, clearance stuff. And I found these for $1.50, and my son got one, and I got one. Now I know why they're so cheap. Um, when you go to loosen the lid, the little metal sleeve that's on there spins around, so you have to actually squeeze it really hard to open it up. But it still works. $1.50 is a lot better than $12, $14 for normal price of those things. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying it again this year. Maybe we should have a stevia challenge. I have to see if I can get hopefully I can get my truck fixed before springtime, because that way I can get another load of soil. So I want to put another area for growing up closer to the house for herbs and stuff. I did the plastic bag, the sandwich bag with the paper towel, because a lot of times, and I didn't read about it or anything, but a lot of times when I don't find the information or I don't look for the information, I'll just, if I plan it and it doesn't come up, then I go to the other method of putting in a sandwich bag with a paper towel and water, and leave it under a grow light or in a windowsill, and it works pretty good. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Or somebody might have to do a video on it. 7B. Well, I haven't checked here lately because last year they said the growing zones changed, so I don't know. Growing 2025. Okay. Let's see here. How am I supposed to see that? Okay, yeah. They have in 2011 it changed too, but they're saying it changed last year. Okay, so it still says I'm in 6. I'm probably more in a 6B though. Before though, wow, that has changed quite a bit. Holy crap. If you here, let me bring it up on where is that share. There we go. And this is a New York Times, so who knows with that. But look at it from 1981 to 2010. Look, this was all the way down into Tennessee even. Zone 6 was. Now, if you look up here, I'm almost zone 7. Because I think this little dip here is where I'm at. I'm not sure because I can't tell where the line's at. Oh no, I'm over here. I don't know. Zone 9. Oof. B, are you in zone 10? Or are you up enough into 9? Please don't change Georgia. Yeah, Georgia, depending where you're at in Georgia, 8 and 9 until they change it again. 7B, yeah. Now, again, I'm not sure 100% if that's true that they changed it last year or it changed last year. Who knows? Hey, Al, how's it going? Good to see you. I don't know who's on here later on. Let me see. I don't know. Oh, Gail's going to be live at 9. Well, not. Oh, yes, she is going to be live at 9. She's being interviewed by Linda. Okay. So hers didn't show. Oh, there it is. No, it didn't show up. Yeah, that's at 9 o'clock. So I don't see her page though, or her scheduled. She might have scheduled her a lot earlier. So I'll put Gail's link in here. And then hopefully she has it switched over. Yeah, let me see if I can find hers too. Come on, open up. My subscriber list is taking long to load. There it is. Okay. So hopefully we can get some people over there and watch. I think I'm in March, I do believe. She's going to interview me in March. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight and learning about an herb. Or, sorry, it's a weed. Don't want to misname it. But, yeah, Purslane, it's something to look at. Eric, I don't know. I haven't ate yet, so I got to fix me something to eat. But next time you're in the garden or weeding and you pull that thing out, you might want to save it or take a bite out of it, see what it tastes like. But I'll see you guys over at Linda's while she does an interview with Gail Southern Living. And we will catch you on the next one. And again, remember, next month, member giveaways. So hopefully I can do it once a week, but who knows? I'll at least get one out next month, because I already have some garden stuff being sent to me. And we'll see from there. Until next time, which will probably be Friday. Yeah, I'll probably see you guys Friday. Everybody have a blessed week. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Don't copyright this. I made it.